many of you guys, you got class, you got family, you got work, and other things going on, so I appreciate your guys' time. I actually came the farthest to be here. I'm from San Diego, so again, I appreciate you guys coming out tonight. And hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving and holiday. And really, proud of these guys. Obviously, getting to hear their story. I've never actually been into Long Island. This is my first chance to really get to be here. So I'm really honored to really be here. And my encouragement, really, if you're a guest, welcome. Have an open mind. Right now in this economy, I think many of us would agree it's pretty wild. People every day I hear about losing their jobs. Companies are shutting down. Pay cuts. So I think it's really forcing people, especially young people, to find other means, other ways to make money. And that's what's neat about this, it's working. And if they said if it's not the right fit, no hard feelings, not here to push anything, but I really believe when you hear our story and you see the product and the concept, it's really impressive. And you guys, I've been a part of Vemma over 6 years. I could tell you guys stories about the product and the company, a lot about the owner, BK Borrego, but more what it could do for you, what it could do for all of us working together here in Long Island. I'm sure a lot of people could really benefit from something like this, but I really believe it's got to be the right timing. They talk about timing in life is everything with people. Real estate's obviously about location, but in business it's timing. And I ask you that, really in a question in the sense of all of us that saw the movie Social Network, what would you have done? Many of us saw that movie, a lot of kids probably went on to class, went on to, to the gym, went on to party, hang out with friends. But this kid Zuckerberg was excited. He had a vision of something that could be really big. And I wonder about those kids that obviously, were a part of that story, kind of looked in there and from that point, obviously, their lives are at a different point today. So what if you were really in the right place at the right time and you knew you couldn't fail? That's really my question for you tonight. But really quick, you guys, I'll tell you my background just so you kind of know where I came from. I know there's some people that are kind of unsure really about how this whole Vemma company really works. But I grew up in San Diego playing basketball. My buddy Nico's here. He played at Columbia. We've had a pretty, extensive, career playing, since we were little. And that was my dream. You guys that played a sport, my dream was to play in college, play at the next level. I graduated in 04, I'm 27, and I wanted to play at UC San Diego. My mom's from the South in Meridian, Mississippi. We went to a family reunion that summer, and we were in a bad car wreck. From that point, I didn't end up playing that fall, and that whole dream kind of went out the window. And, kind of tough to deal with. My best friend played with Nico at Columbia, so seeing a lot of my friends want to do that. But I had to make a decision. So in the fall, I had to make a decision. My dad was on me about getting a job or go to school. And at the time, if I would have gone to school, I would have lost a year of eligibility. And I said, I'm going to sell to next season. And I really wasn't excited about going to the mall and having to, most of my friends worked at Radio Shack and they hated it. If you've seen Horrible Bosses, sometimes it's like that. So I was thinking outside the box and I started a business. I was 18 and I was in the right place at the right time. Flat screens came out on the market, the high definition flat screen TVs. Everybody wanted one. The economy was going a lot better. They were like 10 grand. And I had this bizarre idea. I could save people money off Best Buy, install them, and do service. But I had no money to advertise. I didn't have a store or showroom. I was 18. I had no marketing experience, so I got creative. I think really what you're hearing tonight is creative. I did something different. This is different. I found realtors. Nico, you saw the real estate in the city, man. I'd love to meet you for lunch, buy you a sandwich. You just sold her a nice place. If you could refer me or our company, what we're doing, I could save her money off Best Buy because I didn't have the building, the insurance, the overhead, the traditional expenses. We can install it, I'll make it look good, I'll make you look good, and every time you get me a job, I'll give you $1,000. Well, my first year out of high school, I made a 6-figure income doing home theater, which really was a fluke, but again, I was in the right place at the right time. I took some serious action and worked my butt off, but from that point, I had to make a change. Around 2007, 2008, a lot of you guys in this room have been affected by the economy. It hit me, number one, people aren't putting all that money in their homes. Nobody's going to drop 5, 10 grand on home theater stuff right now. Number two, with Costco and Walmart, I can't stand them. They sell everything, and it kind of killed my business because 10 grand at Best Buy on a flat screen, 9 at Costco, 8 at Best Buy, and 7, and now these TVs are like $800. So there's really no money in that if you kind of follow where I'm going, and that's where I had to make a change. So like many of you guys, I made a change to Vemma, and it was the best decision that I ever made. Now, I was introduced to this from my parents. Many of you guys, it's like a friend told you what's good, I'll come through. It's nothing, whatever, I'll come check it out. But I was introduced to Vemma from my parents. You guys, I had no interest in the business side. I'd never seen anything like this work for young people. So I was the first, and what we talked about on the way, I shot it down, thanks, but no thanks, it's not for me, I'll pass. But fortunate tonight, you guys, I got on the product. If you really do some homework tonight on Vemma, it's a liquid vitamin supplement, as you can see here on the screen, a 32-ounce bottle and a little travel size. So when I got involved with Vemma in the beginning, Verve wasn't even out. And I started taking this every day, and I loved my energy level, I loved how I felt as an athlete. I didn't have any health problems, my mom did. Many of you guys know our parents with the blood pressures, the cholesterol, the diabetes. You know, my mom being from Meridian, Mississippi, from the South, you know, they don't eat the best. She did the right diet, right supplementing, right fitness level, and had blood pressure problems since I was a kid. So I was taking Vemma twice a day, and again, I make the disclaimer, it's not intended to cure or prevent anything, but it will give your body what it needs that you don't really get in your foods. I mean, what do you think we eat every day? Subway, Jimmy John's. You know, we don't eat really for the right reasons. We eat because of taste. You ever had a Five Guys burger? You eat for cost. We're all on a budget, you know, being young, most of us. You know, we're all late to class, late to work. We don't have time to stop and eat healthy. And you look at the rise in health problems today. I'm not going to go into that, but the point is my mom had great results with Vemma after about 90 days where she got off her blood pressure medication. So to our family, that's really was, you know, the big part for our family. That's what pulled me into Vemma. From that point in 05, 06 and 07, this product got a lot of credibility. Dr. Oz recommended Vemma in Esquire magazine. Men's Journal rates it the best overall supplement. Clinical studies where it's proven to reduce inflammation. Again, you know, where now they say inflammation is a bigger problem than high cholesterol. And it's proven to increase your immune system. So any athlete is cold, whatever you think about your immune system, about 15%, that's a pretty good amount. So that's really what I saw in Vemma as my mom's results, how I felt as an athlete, obviously the credibility it was getting, and I was through 06 and 07. But really, you know, that was an interesting time for me, because I saw people were doing this, I saw people were making money, I figured I liked to drink, and I know a lot of people. But I didn't take it serious, you know, honestly, you know, I was so busy doing TV jobs, in a relationship, debating on school and basketball, partying, you know, that I really didn't put the time and effort into Vemma, and it didn't grow. And if you're a guest kind of checking this out, understand that it does take time and effort. But if you don't put time in school, you don't put time in basketball, you don't put time in a relationship, obviously it's not going to work out. But so around 07, I had to make a change. So I started sharing Vemma to my network, you know, similar to what these guys are doing. Everybody in this room has a network. You have a Facebook, a phone book, Twitter, Instagram. So imagine you have a network, people that, you know people that I don't know. Well, my network at the time, you guys, around 2007, I thought about TV clients and realtors. These were the people I dealt with every day. So from 07 to 11, you guys, I got a little over 100 people on this Vemma product. And if you had an open mind tonight and tried it and liked it, imagine that's about one person every 30 days, okay? So again, I got, you know, kind of really, you know, interested in this around 21. And then from that point, in 4 years, a little over 100 people, half of those people just used the product. So they didn't even care about the business. So if you're here tonight and maybe just from a health standpoint, you know, this product might be something you want to try for 30 days, it's got a money-back guarantee, give it a shot. But I found, you guys, like these guys, I found maybe 15 or so people that saw the big picture. They saw what I saw. They got excited about what he talked about, that financial freedom, time freedom. Like he said, he knows where he's going. They're already at this point, they're planning out, you know, retire mom, and they're going to continue. And that's what I really, you know, I saw with Vemma. And it turned into about 8,000 orders in my group after 4 years. And I was at this level called Star Ambassador in 2011, where I was making about 10 grand a week. And I can say that comfortably. Again, the results maybe aren't typical. Why? Well, we're not really doing much typical stuff. I mean, these guys are on the phone. They're busy. They're putting time and effort. And I'm sure if you're around them, you hear them on the phone. It's kind of, you can see they're putting effort into the business, and it's working. But, you know, that was around 2011, and my life changed. You know, I was reading about companies that you ladies will know about that are in the billions, and people that make way more than 400 or 500 grand a year. And this one guy, an older gentleman, in spring of 2011, named Marty WeWorker, calls me. He had been on Vemma through a friend of mine, had great results like my mom. Calls me and says, I got a friend in Columbus, Ohio, that's been taking this Vemma, has great results. His son loves Verb and wants to talk about doing this at ASU, Arizona State. I'm like, well, I don't think that's going to work. One, man, we're young. We don't have a lot of money. We're on a budget kind of. Number two, my friends won't even take it serious. You know, where are we going to party? Like, what are we doing? That's what he talked about. You know, you can definitely tell that we have a lot going on. Well, anyway, I went over in the spring of 11, and I met this kid, Alex, for 30 minutes. You saw him in the video. And I told him my story. Like, right now, the basketball dream never happened. The TV thing was short-lived. But in 4 years, with parents in Vemma, look at these numbers. And I never saw a kid my age get so hyped and so excited because he saw what you're hearing tonight as a way out. He saw this as something he could do to finish and get his degree but not have to get a corporate job. And if that rings a bell with you, great. If not, no hard feelings, but that's what he wanted. So we sat down. He tried Verb and loved it. If you haven't, you got to check it out. He's like, look, bro, if I like it, my friends will. And we can all relate to that. Bro, if I went and saw a movie and you hit me up, let's go, hey, I'm going to go see a movie tonight. What do you think I should see? You know, hey, go see Thor 2. It was crazy. Okay, so we do that every day. A movie, a restaurant, ladies, it's shoes, a bag. It's like the same thing we put on Instagram and Twitter. He said, if I like it, my friends will. If I make money in this, my friends will want to do it. So it was pretty much a no-brainer. And we sat down, I showed him the numbers. I said, here's the numbers. And if you do the numbers tonight to $500 or $1,000 a month, what would you say? And number two, a method, a proven plan that I was working on and put together, that we have worked it out, and it's working so well that you will not fail, like he said, unless you quit or do nothing. So we got 16 kids on board in a whole year that we met with personally at Arizona State. And you guys, it turns into a little over 1,000 orders of Verve shipping out in his group, again, following the system. And this kid, Alex, reached a 6-figure income in 13 months. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm from San Diego. Grew up in a small town where I don't know many kids 21 making $100,000 a year. And it really blew my mind, and it really developed our story. It developed this whole movement, this thing called the YPR that a lot of us know about. It's this hashtag Young People Revolution. And there's 3 major points why young people are having this success, why you should have an open mind. And then before we leave in the next few minutes, really look at running with us as we launch this into New York, not only Long Island, but just the Northeast in general. Because look around at the timing, being in the right place at the right time. Right now, number one, 55% of kids our age are unemployed. 1 out of 2 young people can't find a job. Sad to say, Nico and I are going to Columbia after this tonight to meet with some kids at 11. Half those kids will graduate in June with no job. So you've got to have an open mind right now. And you got to ask yourself, I love the analogy of Blockbuster. When I was a kid, I skated to Blockbuster to get a video game. But they didn't change with the times. And what happened then? This new thing came out, more convenient, a little bit different. Netflix. Blockbuster went out of business. Number 2, you guys, student loans. If you're in the universities, you're in a college scene right now, 60% of kids have $30,000 or more. Our best friend has 2 degrees from Columbia, or a degree from Columbia, 50 or 100,000 in loans. And you guys working 40 or 30 or 40 grand a year. And I try to explain to my friends personally that I know. I'm like, guys, you're not going to retire you're not going to pay back loans on 30 grand a year. You're not going to buy a home on 40 a year, and you won't retire your mom, which is what their main reason for doing this tonight is, on 50 grand a year. And then lastly, if you guys are my age and you're young, you know it's not the best working for 8 or 10 an hour. If you're working at Jimmy John's or something, no offense, but 20 hours a week is 200, 4 weeks is 8. End of the month, you're going to make 600 to 700 after taxes. So when I realized that, I said I can't work more hours to make more money. And everybody looks around, what's good? Do you know anybody that has a job? We all agree the job market's not that great. So the concept of what we're talking tonight is start your own business. Work for yourself. You can make your own money. I fell in love with that idea. I just saw the idea there was no limit. And you realize in life it's not hard to start a business. You guys, you need a vehicle. And that's why I give you my background, just to tie it all together. Basketball, I thought, was my plan. He played at Columbia, played in London. He got to do that. Didn't work for me. And then I did this TV thing, learned a lot about sales, service, dealing with people. I got hit by the economy. I had to make a change, and Vemma is the vehicle I'm running with now. Now, if you guys do go on Instagram, go on mine or go online and check it out, but Dr. Oz recommended Verve on his show last October. So when you really look at the facts and look at what's going on, it's impressive. But I realize why people don't know about this, it's not in stores. If Verve was in stores, why would I get it from you? Now, I'm not getting this from a friend if I can get on my way to class or my way to work. Number 1. Number 2, as a